today we're going to need these. So this is our long distance hiking shoe review of our Salomons, various. We feel that we can now carry out a really good review because we have used these shoes for 2,000 miles plus, probably getting on to 3,000 miles across various types of shoe. We've got trail runners, got hiking shoes, got winter sort of waterproofs, which we don't have with us, but we've used them for a while and we think they're really good.
Really hard when you're planning a Thru-Hike, which is what we did in 2017. We walked the Appalachian Trail, and it's really hard because there's lots of advice out there telling you which shoe to buy, whether to buy a boot, whether to buy a waterproof shoe. So we just decided to share what we think, and if you're planning on a long distance hike, this might be the shoe for you. So I wear the X Ultra 3s. They are kind of a trail shoe and they are great for long distance hiking.
Yeah, and I wear the XA Pro 3D, which is a heavy duty trail running shoe. And the big difference really seems to be the sole and how deep the lugs are. But apart from that, they seem relatively similar, but Salomon might disagree. So, why we like the shoes?
They are super comfortable. We found that on the long distance hike, we needed a shoe that we could just put on and hike straight away in, which these did the job. We've worn other brands and we weren't able to do that straight away. So that gets cred points for being able to just stick it on and walk without any problems, no blisters, no nothing.
And particularly good on true hikes when you're just ditching one pair of shoes and putting on a fresh pair. Ideally you've worn them in, but that isn't always an option. So a pair of shoes that you can just get on and get going is really important. Another reason is they're super grippy. The lugs seem really good on both pairs of shoes. We have never slipped, but we have obviously tripped. So I wouldn't have said that the grip has let us down ever. We like these shoes because they are stiff. They both have advanced chassis. This has got 3D chassis and this has got, well, this has got an advanced chassis. So they are very stiff to twist, which is really good because that is stopping your foot from twisting around all the time. I know there's an argument for sort of barefoot, but when you're doing through hiking and you're doing many miles, you want to be protecting your foot as much as possible, which is what these do.
Yep, and on the Appalachian Trail, the terrain is changing all the time. You kind of need something that's going to move, but also support your foot. We love these because they aren't a boot and they aren't a trainer. You've got the low cut, so you've got the kind of freedom to move. Really
good for sort of flexibility, particularly if you're going up and down a lot of hills. Just gives your ankle a bit more freedom. Equally, it doesn't give it the support, but we haven't found it's a problem. So the mileage on these bad boys is probably about 700 miles to maybe 900 miles, give or take. So about 700 miles, 750, 800 we were changing them out because they were pretty beaten up by that point. They probably could go further. It depends how quickly you want to change your boot or your shoe. And obviously the more you use them, the less integrity they have, and therefore probably the more abuse your foot's going to take. If there's lots of spiky rocks like in Pennsylvania, then your shoes are going to take a battering, which they did, and they're going to get worn out a lot quicker.
It does depend though. We met people that changed their shoes kind of up to 5-6 times on the Appalachian Trail, but we found that three lots of shoes got us through it. So it just depends on how hard you walk.
Yeah, what your budget is on shoes.
Another reason why we like these is because they have the Salomon quick lace system. There are versions with laces, but I hate laces. These are super quick. I particularly find them super easy. You can just undo it, get your foot in and out, and then do it back up and go. Particularly important if you're kind of in the forest and you're getting bits and bobs in your shoes and you want to empty them out, bits and bobs, then you can just whip them off and whip them on. Another reason is when you're kind of in camp and you want to kind of get out of your tent, pop your shoes on and sneak off into the woods or walk around the campsite, you can just pop your feet in and use them as kind of slip-ons, which is great.
When you're on a 5-minute break, you can just slip them off, no problem. Let your feet air out just for that quick break, makes all the difference. Wiggle them toes a bit more and put them back on without having to faff about with laces.
And your feet are pretty stinky at that point, so
yeah,
they need as much air as they can
as
get.
much drying out time as possible.
So we've chose the non-waterproof, so non-Gore-Tex versions of these shoes because when you're long distance hiking, you want a shoe that isn't going to just be drenched with water once you've been walking all day long. Because the next day you're going to put them on and they're going to have a puddle, basically. So you want a shoe that is breathable and that can dry. It usually takes about a day to dry when you're hiking in them. So that's why we wouldn't go for a Gore-Tex shoe. We do have the Gore-Tex versions. They're really good for day hikes, we find. It keeps your feet nice and dry, but on long distance hikes we prefer kind of a breathable shoe that's going to dry quickly. For sure.
And my feet are quite moist anyway, even when it's not raining, so a nice breathable shoe makes all the difference for healthy feet. These shoes have really good toe protection. They've got a solid piece of plasticky rubber at the front, and no matter how careful we are, we always tend to give something a really good kick. So this keeps our toes nice and safe.
Yep. And on one occasion on the trail, I did kick a root and it tore my shoe wide open. What was really great is that the toe protector did protect my foot. I was able to just sew it back up and do another 200 miles.
Nice. Very durable.
Another reason why we like these is because they are gender specific with their designs. So usually, or a lot of the time, you have men's sizes that are just made smaller for women, but these have actually been designed for women's feet because apparently women's feet are a little bit more flexible and they need a little bit more kind of support in different places. So we really like that.
The Salomon shoes also come in a range of colours. So I've currently got burnt umber and blue, which is great. Max has got green and charcoal grey. It saves you from just having always having black shoes, always having brown shoes. But if you do look like only black or brown, well, I'm sure you can get that colour as well.
Yeah, and they're not pink, which I'm delighted about.
Yeah, but Max does suit a pair of pink shoes. The dislikes about these shoes is, one is the price. The RRP from Salomon is £120, which is quite pricey. But normally we can find them for around £80 from other retailers. That said, £120 isn't that outrageous, it's pretty average. As our feet are comfy and happy, I mean, it's great value for money.
Another dislike is a bit of a pro and a con, because the reason why we like these shoes is they're super comfortable, you can wear them straight away. However, that does mean that you wear through the fabric inside and usually in the heel here a lot quicker than perhaps a leather boot would. But that's the price you pay when you want to wear something straight away and just get cracking. So that's a dislike, but also part of the reason why we like it.
So the insole is less of a dislike, more of a personal preference. But so the standard insole that comes with all Salomon shoes is Thru-Hike, and this is fine. We use it in our trail runners and our winter hiking shoes, but for Thru-Hiking we want something a little bit more sturdy. We've been using Superfeet Trailblazers, and they just offer a bit more stability, particularly in the heel. And I found that the Thru-Hikes, on occasion, the insole gets folded over and just creates a fold in your shoe. And these have never done that, and have had no problems with them. So stand by them.
So that's it, really. That's our review of the Salomon trail shoes. We've walked 2,500, maybe 3,000 miles wearing Salomons, and we love them. If you've got any other suggestions of brands, hit us up, let us know.
Please do. And if you've liked this video, please give us a thumbs up and a like. And if you want to see more, please give us a subscribe, because that really helps us out.